Ivan scores the first goal of his young career, a power play tally as the Avs win a big one in Utah, 5-1. They climb back to 500. Ivan, his first of the season. Casey Middlestat scores his fifth of the year. We get another goal from Joel Kiviranta. Ross Colton is second in the league in goal scoring, Mark Springer, as we welcome you into Between the Pipes presented by Safeway. You guys can watch us on X, on twitch.tv/altitudesr, and on YouTube at Altitude Sports Radio. Alex Ryanemi alongside Mark Springer a little bit later than we normally do. I was hosting 950 because Berto is taking the Nuggets, who are getting walloped at home in their season debut. Avs do the walloping in Utah at the Delta Center Spring. They're 500. They were 0-4, and all it took was, finding a starting goaltender.
Well, that certainly helped. Yeah, Justus Annunen was great once again. Got to talk about Ivan. Got to talk about Ross Colton leaving this game. That's why Ivan was able to score that goal. But Justus Annunen, man, the glove is good. It's smooth. It's pure. The pads are good. That, shorthanded breakaway right pad save from Annunen in the second period was very nice. Even the goal he allows on that mini breakaway, I love his splits on that goal. It, again, for if you're going to allow a goal, look goaltender-ish doing it. He spread the pads as far as he could. Great flexibility. That's what the Finnish goaltenders do. They use those pads. He got beat. That's fine. He allows one goal. Shout out to Utah, able to score a goal. They were on an 8-0 run. No, excuse me, 7-0. No, 8-0. 8-0 run against, because Ottawa beat them 4-0 in their barn. They were down 4-0 tonight in their own barn. So they got off the schneid there. Justus continues to look great. It is exactly what the Avs need, short of health and availability, for Justus Annunen at age 24. It's like, that's the low window. You can start doing it at 24 years old with all of the development he's gotten in Finland with the Colorado Eagles. Spot starts here and there over the past couple years. I think he's ready at 24 years old. We're seeing it. The Avs needed it. And what I love about it is, for the outside fan, for the non-Colorado fan, when you think of the Colorado Avalanche, you thought it was Grubauer, it was Kemper. Now everyone just has it in their mind, Georgiev's their guy, until he's no longer under contract. Little did they know, little does everyone know, that they have this Justus Annunen, and he's not the most heralded goaltending prospect. I think he is above average, but he's not one of these elite goaltending prospects that people had their eye on, right? That everyone would talk about and say, oh, but Colorado's got Annunen. He has flown under people's radar nationally, and he can be that perfect new added twist that catches the league by surprise, and they'll check box scores and they'll say, who's Annunen? Who is this guy? When the Avs are on national TV, they're going to be like, Annunen? I thought they had Georgiev. Oh, no. They actually have this guy they've been grooming and developing, and before your very eyes, surprise, surprise, NHL, the Avs have a homegrown goaltender that they can rely on.
He's been phenomenal, and we will get into, Justus has been great, and Ivan scores, but it comes at a cost, as inevitably all things do for the Avs spring. Ross Colton takes a slash on the hand. He was not fit enough to come back in this game, and that is the only update that we get from the locker room. Utah is not fit to like feed post-game interviews and stuff to the radio. So I'm getting this from Evan Rowell of the Gazette. But Coach Sanford is in the chat with us once again. Juice, boys, juice. Guys, it's his net. Does that mean that he's never going to get scored on again and he's going to be a world beater and have a .960 save percentage every single game? No, it does not. But it's his net. And I would be shocked if they went to anyone but Justus Annunen when they come back home and take on the Ottawa Senators on Saturday evening. He needs to be the starter on the 27th. I still believe that you should try and like balance some games, right? I have talked about how the majority of the league is moving towards like a 1A, 1B. I'm still cool with that, of like trying to split games more evenly rather than just having like a starter start 62 games this year. I would like to see Bednar employ that type of strategy. But to show this to the fan base at home, dude, you deserve this. You are the starter on Saturday night. I think that would be a huge vote of confidence in a young goaltender. I think it would be a vote of confidence in the room that the team would very much rally behind. And then if you give Georgiev the start the next game, right, because it's a first of a back-to-back, they'll take on Chicago on the 28th right after that. I'm cool with that. Like, regardless of the result, if Eustace goes out there and shuts out Ottawa, I'm cool with giving Georgiev the next start. If he goes out and he gets walloped by Ottawa, I'm still cool with giving Georgiev the next start because you need to take the minutes off of those goalies. But it's his net, man. He's the starter. Period.
He should be the A right now. The 1A to the 1B. Annunen should be the A, and he's gonna have a stinker. Okay, he's 24 years old. He's gonna have at least a couple stinkers this year. I hate Andre Vasilevsky has stinkers. I saw one the other night when he lost to Anthony Stolarz and the Maple Leafs. Vasilevsky allowed at least 5 goals in that game. They all have stinkers, okay? But the form that Annunen shows at his age, and he is the goalie next season. Like, it's time to transition. So even if he has a stinker, this is not going to be a situation of, oh, now Georgie has the 1A. We're not going to overreact like that. We're going to keep going. I will continue to use the word stinkers. Damn it, stinkers!
Nuggets had a stinker tonight.
They gave Annunen the big hat after his win in Seattle, and look, this team. They have thrown a lot of subtle messages that they support Eustace Annunen, and they want to encourage him. They give him the big hat. Honestly, look, Eustace was good. He was very solid. I would have given the big hat to Yoel Kiviranta, who had 2 goals in Seattle, and then the snipe that he gets tonight. Yoel Kiviranta, where is I mean, I kind of get where it's coming from, but also where is this coming from? That was a back-to-back just snipes.
I don't know if I can call this the one he scored tonight a snipe. Dude, if
calling that a Bamelka whiff? If
an Avalanche goaltender had let that in, I would have lost my mind. I would have gone off the deep end. Like, it was a non-tipped, non-screened snapshot from above the hash marks. Granted, middle of the ice, but above the hash marks to the glove side. And Veggie just missed it. Just straight up missed it. And had that been Annunen or Georgiev, I would have had a conniption. So I'm fine with it. I love that Kiwi scoring a bunch of goals, but that one ain't a good one. That's not. He didn't pick a corner.
Right, fair enough. Hey, you know who creates that goal? It's mostly Ivan on winning a puck along the boards that get that puck then finds Kiviranta in the deep slot. So Ivan makes a good defensive play moments after he scores in the bumper on the power play. And what an interesting decision. I don't hate it. It's a little surprising that Ivan gets the nod to go up to PP1. Jared Bednar pulling all the right strings tonight. I wanted to mention Ivan in between the pipes after the Seattle game, maybe even the game before, as we saw Cal Ritchie go down. Ivan, I feel like, has deserved a chance to stick around. I think he's been scrappy and solid.
He's staying.
He hit a crossbar, I think, in the season opener in a similar area that he scored tonight. So he's shown ability to one time in the slot, which for a young player, it's very underrated. That's difficult to do. Ivan, man. I like. Sorry to go there, but Ivan, man, I'm here for it.
He's been the best of the young guns. Kem says it perfectly there. He has been. The Avs have had to rely on a few rookies. They sent one back to the Ontario League in Callum Ritchie. They are going to continue to play Nikolai Kovalenko this season. He's looked fine. I haven't loved him defensively. On the offensive side of the puck, I've been fine with Kovalenko, but without a doubt, the most complete player of those three rookies. You can throw Sam Malinsky in there too. I know he's not like technically a rookie this year because he played too many games, but I think of Sam Malinsky in that realm. Ivan's been the most complete out of all four of the players that we just mentioned. And that's the thing. Like, you look at the Sakic front office, they have been known to hit big time on their top draft picks. Mikko Rantanen, 10th overall, Cale Makar at number 4, Gabe Landeskog, obviously Nathan McKinnon. Like, they hit on the guys that they draft high. And then the big knock against Sakic and McFarland is, well, where are the other dudes that you're drafting? Like, where are the bottom 6 forwards that you need to find in the draft? Like, that's how you continue to replenish your depth as you go through championship windows. Well, Ivan is an undrafted rookie free agent that put up 150 points in the Quebec Major Junior League after playing a couple of years in his native Czechia, not Czech Republic anymore. That's got to be a feather in the cap. Like, if you're going to take things away from Sakic and McFarland for not drafting well in the mid rounds and finding those diamonds in the rough, you also have to give them the credit for, and I know this is taboo to say right now, like the credit for finding Valerian Nichushkin on waivers and the credit for finding Ivan in the middle of nowhere when he was putting up, a 95-point season in Cape Breton. He's been awesome, man. He's been every bit as advertised. It wasn't a ballyhooed prospect, but when he came through training camp, coach and the rest of the front office was like, that guy can play. And if he can play, I don't care where he's from. I don't care what his pedigree is. Ivan's staying.
Could he be the next Logan O'Connor,
Maybe.
undrafted guy? And what a credit to Ivan, who's only 22 years old, to go from undrafted to develop at the rate he has. That's quite the rate of development from undrafted to playing pretty solid in a bottom 6 role in his first stint in the NHL. That's a credit to his own development. It's a credit to the Avalanche organization. Who cares? Develop someone, even if he's undrafted. I don't care if he was drafted when or where or undrafted. To develop him is quite the feather in the cap. Now we'll see. Logan O'Connor I thought he again showed, he almost scored tonight.
It's another undrafted college free agent. So but the Avs don't get credit for him.
If he can have the career LOC has had, massive win. So great to see Ivan get his first NHL goal tonight. You mentioned Nikolai Kovalenko. I thought this was his best game because he has 2 key plays. He, in the neutral zone, finds Mikko Rantanen, and then Rantanen feeds Makar for Makar's goal. That's a good job by Kovalenko. It's a simple play, but hitting Rantanen on that cross-ice pass on the tape, look, is it the sexiest play in the world? No, but he does his job. It's a pass that needed to be made, and it results in a Cale Makar goal. And then on the Casey Middlestat goal, Kovalenko plays great tic-tac-toe with Sam Malinsky. And Sam Malinsky is great going on the wraparound, creating that rebound for the open net for Middlestat. But Kovalenko is a part of that play, and his passing with Malinsky helps create that. So for Kovalenko and Ivan to contribute in the manners that they did tonight, yeah, Cal Ritchie we're going to put on the back burner, but 2 of the 3 that we were looking at to start the season had solid games tonight.
Without a doubt. Spring, a good stat for you. We're going to do a quick between the pipes here tonight, guys. Again, presented by our friends at Safeway. You can go get all of your flu shots, immunizations that you need during the winter months over at Safeway. You can sign up at the Safeway app or at Safeway.com. Weird stat. We've seen the Avs and Quebec Nordiques organization have had 3 separate instances where they've lost 4 games to start the year and then have rattled off 4 victories right after those. But in those cases, not all of the losses have come in regulation. The Avalanche are the first team since 1942, since World War II, that have lost their first 4 games in regulation and then won 4 straight after that. The team that did it in 1942 was the Boston Bruins, and they went all the way to the Stanley Cup final. But don't tell anyone there were only 6 teams in the league.
Ah, yes, the original 6, but still, I mean, it takes a unique team in a unique situation to start 0-4 and then quickly be 4-4. What does that tell you? It tells you it could be a number of things. One of them being it's an undermanned squad still with high-end talent that was figuring some things out. Probably, and I hate to use overall, I would rather not say things like blessing in disguise or best thing that ever happened to you, but I think an early wake-up call was good. This is a team that thrives on wake-up calls. It really does, with the leadership that they have that's all in their prime. An 0-4 start is going to tick off Nathan MacKinnon. It's going to tick off Devon Taves. Mikko Rantanen has played some great hockey of late. I think he's been motivated. He had a great offseason because he came in night 1 with a hat trick. Back-checking tonight, Mikko and Nate made great back-checking plays to help lead to Avs goals. The 0-4 start woke him up early, and I shudder to think, I really do, about what this team is going to look like and what this team is capable of when they are fully healthy. I think they're more dangerous than a lot of people even realize. It's going to be borderline scary with Halloween a week away. It's going to be spooky how good they will be.
What it's telling me is that regardless of what happens with Gabriel Landeskog, if everybody comes back and is healthy, I'm convinced they're still legit contenders. Like favorites up there to win the West with Edmonton. I don't know who else is like really separating themselves right now. Like Dallas looks red hot right now. Winnipeg is well on their way. Like that might be final actually. But Winnipeg is on their way to starting off like 7-0. Maybe those teams are also looked at as like true favorites in the West. Regardless of what happens with Landy, if everyone else comes back, what this is showing me is like they're going to be fine. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with or without Gabriel Landeskog.
I think they will be the most dangerous team, the best team in the Western Conference. I really do. The other team that I think they'll be competing with is the Dallas Stars. And because, Dallas goes into Boston tonight and they win 5-2, and they get out to a 4-1 lead, and it's goals from names, and they're deep with names. Matt Duchene, Jason Robertson, Logan Stankoven, who's our guy that I'm thinking of?
Wyatt Johnston.
Wyatt Johnston. I mean, those are a couple good young players right there. Tyler Sagan's still doing it. Hintz gets the empty netter. The Avs, when they are healthy, are going to be able to match name for name in the forward category with the team with deep forwards like that. And then it becomes a battle. And I think the Avs will have the edge skating, but just barely. I think that it becomes a battle of Annunen and Ottinger, and I would love to see that matchup.
Yeah, on paper, Ottinger has that matchup won, but what I'm looking at right now is like through 8 games, the Avalanche have now 8 points. Winnipeg will have won their 7th straight to start the season. They'll have 14 points in 7 games. Minnesota has 12 points in 7. Dallas has 12 points in 8 games after being 6-2. So the Avs are trailing for that 3rd spot by 4 points and have had 2 atrocious, absolutely atrocious, you could argue 3 of those goaltending games to start the season. Look at the numbers that the goalies are putting up for those 3 teams that I just mentioned. Connor Hellebuck is sporting a 1.40 goals against average. Philip Gustafsson with the Minnesota Wild is sporting a 1.40 goals against average. And not far behind them is Jake Ottinger at a 1.81. When we talk about GAA over the course of a season, like a Vezina-worthy GAA is like a 2.4. 2.5. That is an unbelievable year. I think all 3 of those teams right now are vastly outkicking their coverage. and they're going to come back to the mean. I don't think the Avs are going to have to chase them too long. And again, especially a team like Winnipeg, maybe not Dallas at this point, but like Winnipeg's going to have the question over them, especially up in Canada, is like, well, yeah, you guys are hot right now, but what are you going to do in the playoffs? Because that's the only thing that matters. I don't think Dallas has those same negative connotations to them, and certainly Minnesota doesn't because they haven't made that push yet. But Winnipeg's always going to have that. Well, yeah, you guys are hot, but like you're gonna shit the bed one day. We know you are. That's what people in Canada are saying about them, not me.
Oh, it's obvious. Winnipeg, Toronto. I mean, Edmonton ultimately shat the bed. Love being able to say these words, by the way. In Game 7, the Canadian teams, you can't trust them. You can't trust them. Okay, and the Avs. Think about the emotional boost they're going to get when Gabe Landeskog returns. They didn't have him in the Winnipeg series, obviously, and they won that thing in 5. And we're seeing Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball played for the Chicago Bulls last night, coming off of the same cartilage transplant surgery that kept him out for a couple years. So to see Lonzo back on the court. And did you see Gabe Landeskog? Someone on Instagram posted some comment on some post saying, Landeskog, you just need to retire, man. And Gabe replied to that comment and said something along the lines of, but should I? He's coming back. And there might not even be room for Gabe Landeskog on the top 3 lines.
No.
When he comes back.
You can't have a $7 million player playing bottom 6 minutes.
I'm just saying that's how deep they're going to be. Casey Middles, real quick, Rush. Casey Middlestat has looked so good.
He's so good.
Start this. Yeah, it's coming to fruition. Everything we talked about with Casey Middlestat, he looks great.
I've got a bunch of buddies in Buffalo, just having gone up to school in that area at Syracuse, that are all like Sabres fans. And I like to think that the Sabres are like an adopted favorite little cousin team of mine. It's fun to like the Sabres because they suck and they'll never be good. But I get texts from them every single game. Casey Middlestat shows up for the Avs and goes, like, we all knew he could do it. We all knew he was that player. He just happened to be in Buffalo. And I was like, yeah, I feel like we got him for free.
It's Arturi Lehkonen 2.0, except he's a center. You put him in this room with what he showed in his previous spot, and it just
nothing against Bowen Byram, but do you miss Bowen Byram at all?
No, and didn't we knew that a Sam Malinsky, he's something that he has potential to improve and develop here with the main roster, and you saw it tonight. I mean, when we saw the flashes when Malinsky got his first stint, you didn't need Byram, you needed 2C, you needed Middlestat, who, my point is, as great as he looks, is playing with O'Connor and Kovalenko, and O'Connor past few games played admirably up there with Middlestat. Casey Middlestat is going to play with Valeri Nichushkin and Arturi Lehkonen. That line is going to be. There are teams that would be your top line.
Oh yeah, and they'd be happy about it.
They would be very happy about it. That will be the second line behind McKinnon, Rantanen, and Drouin. And Drouin is the perfect kind of out of nowhere fit to play with his boy McKinnon and Rantanen. And Mikko, this is the best. Is his contract year Mikko? Because this is the best he's looked. I've always been critical of Mikko. Puts up the numbers, but sometimes I watch him play, and I'm left with a little to be desired. Not this year. Mikko looks like he's on a mission.
He's back checking. He's never going to be Peter Forsberg, right? And I think you and I have had that conversation multiple times here on Between the Pipes over our now 6 seasons having done this together. He's never going to be Peter Forsberg, like to the point where he is initiating contact and violent contact with and without the puck. He will utilize his body sparingly. And I think as a result, Mikko Rantanen will then have a more extended career than Peter Forsberg did. Peter's one of the top, 10, 15 greatest players ever to play the game, but he didn't crack 1,000 games because he couldn't stay healthy. And that's the big thing about Peter Forsberg is the what if. So you're going to take some of the with the good of like, yeah, Miko's going to play way more games. He's going to put up more points than a guy who's going to disintegrate his body over the course of his career. If you get back checking and a little bit of a pissed off Miko, he doesn't have to be Peter Forsberg, man.
Oh, it's game over. It's game over if you get that Mikko Rantanen. But and do I like seeing him, use his body a little more? I've always wanted it. Yes. But as you bring up Forsberg, it does remind me and make me realize, Mikko has been very available. He doesn't miss games. He's maybe the most available. McKinnon's had some stretches where he's missed time. Makar's had a couple stretches. Mikko's style allows him to be available. And for that matter, having the availability just of Mikko, McKinnon, and Makar, and them protecting their bodies to start this season, and for that trio to still be available is what has allowed the Avs really, with stepped up play from those around them, but to have that trio is what allowed them to win these 4 games in a row. Cale Makar, just another goal tonight, just another goal. That trio is sick. It is on top of the reinforcements that are coming in the elevated play of everyone around them. That trio is disgusting.
So over the course of 14 years in the National Hockey League, you could argue it's more along the lines of 13 years. Peter Forsberg played 708 games, put up 885 points. Mikko already through just 10 years in the league has 577 games played and 628 points. By the time Mikko's 13th season will have come and gone, there is a very good chance he will have outpaced Peter Forsberg's career totals for point production in largely the same amount of time. So I'm not saying Mikko Rantanen is as impactful a player as Peter Forsberg was. Peter Forsberg was a magician. He changed the way that power forwards play in the National Hockey League. He was amazing. But for people to sit here and say that Mikko Rantanen isn't worth the money, the stats tell you he's worth the money. Like, that doesn't grow on trees. Those are first ballot Hall of Fame numbers. He might go down as the second greatest. It's going to be really tough to get past Jari Kurri. He's without a doubt going to be the third greatest Finnish-born player ever to lace him up. Is he going to be better than Jari Kurri and Teemu Selanne? I don't know. Probably not, because those guys put up such gaudy numbers. But I think it's sacrilegious to look at Mikko and go like, yeah, he's a. I hate it. I love Scotty, but Scotty calls him a B-level player. Like, fuck off. B-level player? What are we talking about?
I mean, look, and like I said, I've been critical of Mikko. Ismo Lehkonen was critical of Mikko because he has all the talent in the world. He has the size, but you can tell when he's in first gear and when he's not. And he's been in first gear this season, and he is the primary assister on the first 2 goals. The Colton goal and the game-winning Makar goal, both passes are sneaky. He's such a great passer. The little push pass to Colton, and Colton's so good at the one-timers. Great pass by Mikko. The zone entry to Makar, great pass by Mikko. Also, that Kovalenko pass that is cross-ice to Mikko, underrated. The gather on the backhand edge of the blade, it's a tricky little play, but Mikko gathers it on the backhand. He'd be the best player on so many teams in this league. He gets overlooked playing with Nathan McKinnon. I even bog him down sometimes that, he needs to play with Nate. If you put him on his own line, he ghosts a little bit. I will say, a couple years ago, man, I remember when, it was like November, December, and the Avs were banged up, and the only available star, like McKinnon, was out. It was Mikko.
And he
And
carried it.
he led the team to getting some points in a week or two stretch where I thought they were out of luck. And that was a turning point for me with Mikko as well, to see him be the leader, to be the one with McKinnon out. The bevy of riches that they have, this Avalanche team, if Valeri Nichushkin can keep his head together, because Valeri is another player that I think would be the best player on a lot of teams in this league. That's how damn good he is. A team should not have Nathan McKinnon, Mikko Rantanen, and Valeri Nichushkin on the roster at the same time, yet this team does. Those are elite forwards.
Avs 5-1 victory over the Utah Hockey Club. Spring, any last thoughts on this one? I told you we were going to do a quick show here. We got to get off because Dan Tanner is about to go into In the Paint here on Altitude Sports Radio 92.5. Don't miss that. Nuggets get blown out in game number 1, but Coach Malone's like, listen, don't panic. Defense was fine. The offense was just atrocious. We'll be okay.
Yeah, and now there's absolutely no reason that they shouldn't beat Ottawa on Sunday night. Ottawa's a sneaky young team. We'll see Brady Tkachuk. We'll see Tim Stützle. I assume they're available, Raj. They've been playing all right. They went into Utah and won 4-0. But I think get the Annunen train rolling. Chicago comes to town the next night. Those are winnable games. Bedard, I like him. He's young, but this has 6-game win streak written all over it.
Woo!
And it does. Does it not? Does it not?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty like Tampa looks mortal. Am I wrong? Like Tampa.
Well, that would be 7.
I know. I'm saying that. I look at all.
Oh, Tampa's more. You can beat Tampa. This could be 7. Stamkos is in Nashville. We saw Mikhail Sergachev on Hockey Club tonight.
With north of average goaltending, man, they can beat anyone, even as hurt as they are. It's crazy to me. Absolutely crazy to me. All right. A couple guys asking about Ross Colton. He got slashed on the hands tonight, guys. There is no update on him. That's all we have from the locker room. That's coming from Evan Rowell of the Gazette. We'll have to check in with the team tomorrow and on Saturday morning. But that's going to do it for us. For Mark Springer, for Alex Ryanemi, for myself, it's Altitude Sports Radio 92.5. Thanks to our friends at Safeway. Tune in tomorrow all day long. We're giving away tickets on 92.5, starting at 6 a.m. with Brett Kane, Moshe Lombardi and Kane, the Morning Sprint, PhD, Kreckman, and Lindahl. We're giving away a pair of tickets every single one of those shows. Pair of tickets to Avs and Blackhawks this coming weekend. And all you got to do is listen to the programs. Love you guys. Spring, thanks for staying up with me. Appreciate you. We're back to 500, and Justus Annunen is the starter. Period. End of story.